RELAX. Relax. Bo Nix had growing pains today. He did not look good. There's no beating around the bush. Bo Nix had a very poor performance today. But there's also the fact that this was his first game of his professional football career. He was going up against a defensive scheme in the Seattle Seahawks that has very complicated, exotic looks at the line of scrimmage. They can show one look and then turn around and have a completely different look after the snap. The simulated pressures were something that Bo Nix definitely struggled with, especially in that first half. He also struggled with communication at the line of scrimmage. Obviously, playing in Seattle with that loud crowd noise did not help. But there are also positives to take away from this game, mostly coming on that final drive. That final drive, Bo Nix was making good decisions. He was accurate, on time, in rhythm, in structure of the play. And the Seahawks were not playing soft zone coverage or a prevent defense on that final offensive drive for Denver. They were worried about Denver possibly making a comeback. They were playing tight physical man coverage, and Bo Nix still was delivering the ball where it needed to be. There were a couple of other throws as well. I think about a dig route to Josh Reynolds that just got blatantly dropped, and there was another drop as well. Bo Nix definitely had his issues. He was skittish in the pocket. He had several near interceptions. He had 4 near interceptions and then 2 actual interceptions. So if all those were caught, he could have potentially had 6 interceptions in this game. That's not good. But I have to also stress, again, this is Bo's first NFL game. You cannot expect brilliance and perfection from a rookie quarterback making their first NFL start. I will point directly to CJ Stroud, who had a similar NFL debut against this same defensive scheme run by Mike Macdonald, mind you. And CJ Stroud was able to go out there and follow it up with the best rookie season of an NFL quarterback. Am I going to say that that's going to happen for Bo Nix? No. But I do expect significant improvement because Bo Nix is a film junkie. Quarterbacks coach Javis Webb is a film junkie. Those guys are all going to be grinding in the film room. They're probably already watching the tape on the plane ride home as we speak, and they're going to nitpick what went well, what didn't go well, what did they execute correctly, what did they not execute correctly. Sean Payton said himself that the Broncos' protection in this game was average at best. So that's all stuff that needs to be cleaned up. And then Bo, footwork issues in the pocket, staring down receivers, all of that stuff can be easily cleaned up. It can all be cleaned up with coaching. The Broncos coaching staff is going to have to do that. They're going to have to put Bo in a better position to be successful, because another thing I noticed in this game, Sean Payton's play calling did leave something to be desired. I point directly to that first sequence coming out of halftime where Denver still has, I believe it was a 13-8 lead. They come out, they call a toss play behind the line of scrimmage on 1st down and 10. Seattle's been blowing up everything behind the line of scrimmage that Sean's tried to call, so I don't understand the logic behind that, and that killed the entire drive. Loss of 4 yards, 2nd down drop back, incomplete. 3rd down, they took a delay of game penalty, ended up 3rd down and 19, and you're not going to convert unfavorable downs and distances like that. The Broncos found themselves in 3rd down and long way too often, and you're not going to convert unfavorable downs and distances like that. You have to be able to stay ahead of the chains, and I do not think Sean Payton did a good job with his play sequencing of staying ahead of the chains. There were times where I felt like he should have committed to the run game when he pivoted away from it. There were times where I feel like he should have maybe gone away from the run game and he aggressively stuck to it. Stuff like that, you're going to have to work through. This is week 1. There are kinks, but for Sean Payton being a veteran head coach, I did not expect him to go out there and have this poor of a game plan, quite frankly. The Broncos got out-coached today, and that was something I was not expecting to happen. I was expecting Sean Payton to be the veteran coach and go in there and out-coach Mike Macdonald in his first NFL game. And Unfortunately, I felt like it was the opposite. I felt like Mike McDonald's defense had Sean Payton's offense number, not just in the passing game, but in the run game as well. I thought that the Broncos, yes, could have committed to the run game at various points throughout the year, but by that same token, it wasn't like they were getting much production out of their run game either. Jaleel McLaughlin averaged 2.7 yards per carry. Javonte Williams averaged 2.9 yards per carry. Maybe they should have given the ball to Audric Estime a little bit more. He had 2 carries for 14 yards. So I don't understand why Audric Estime wasn't given the ball more if you were insistent on committing to the ground game there in the second half. It was in the first half where the Broncos didn't run the ball well enough, and that's what put them behind the chains. They still were able to be up 13-8 at halftime because they capitalized on defense and special teams with blunders on the coaching staff and on player personnel-wise for the Seattle Seahawks. Sorry, my voice is shot. You think about Geno Smith turning the ball over, the 2 safeties. The Seahawks couldn't get out of their own way there in the first half, and Denver still found a way to collapse because they could not get anything going offensively. The success rate for the Denver Broncos in this game was down there with the bottom 10 success rate performances in the NFL last season. There were only 10 games last year that were worse than the Broncos in terms of offensive success rate. That's not good, man. The Broncos have got to find a way to execute more efficiently on the offensive side of the ball. But the Broncos have got to stick by Bo Nix here. Yes, he had those rookie mistakes, but he also showcased the ability to bounce back and shake off the mistakes that he did make, especially on that final drive. In the second half, in that fourth quarter in particular, he looked a lot more composed, calm, cool, and collected. Obviously, throwing an interception into triple coverage, not ideal. You got to clean that stuff up, man. Bo Nix, again, had multiple near interceptions as well. But the Broncos have got to tailor their offense to make Bo Nix be in position to be more successful. Less passes behind the line of scrimmage, less screens, less opportunities to answer pressure with a throw, quite frankly. I felt like Bo wasn't given the opportunity to properly answer the pressure that the Seattle Seahawks were dialing up. That's a coaching issue. Bo Nix definitely is going to go through growing pains this season, but that's what you sign up for when you develop a rookie quarterback. I see people out there saying that the Broncos need to sit Bo down. You don't sit a guy after you've already started him. You've already opened Pandora's box. Bo Nix is not only a starter, he's a team captain. You can't sit him. And at this point, the Broncos don't feel comfortable enough about Zach Wilson to even make him the backup quarterback. I see people pounding the table for Zach Wilson. It's not going to happen. I can tell you that right now. It's not going to happen. Jarrett Stidham, again, maybe the Broncos would have had a better offensive production if they had started Jarrett Stidham in this game, but I also strongly feel like this game is going to benefit Bo Nix long-term and benefit the Broncos long-term more than it's going to hurt the team long-term. All right, guys, let me know in the comment section below. What would you grade Bo Nix's performance on the day? For me, C-. Some positive stuff, but obviously a lot to clean up in the film room, and I have high expectations about that being cleaned up next week. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. I would love to hear them as always. Be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, guys. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out and helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. And until next time, guys, I am your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.